Welcome to the Dukes of Sports. I'm Randy Lively with
Paul Perry.
And we have an old friend as a guest today. Look who's back.
I'm back.
Well, who are you?
I'm Andrew.
Okay. Well, just in case we might have a new viewer, may not know.
They should all know who I am.
Oh, whether they've ever watched
Absolutely.
the show. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
If they follow the Facebook page at all, they know who I am.
Oh. Well, we need more people to do that.
We do.
So, Facebook.com/Dukes of Sports. Check us out. Where would you fellows like? I know you're dying to talk about the Patriots, if nothing else.
Actually, no. I'll talk about them or their lack of
Well,
of
you
a
sent me
game.
an email saying you had all kinds of.
Yeah, mostly
opinions.
about the replacement refs.
Well, go for it.
Well, okay. Well, you want to start with the Patriots game? You said.
Yeah, go with the Patriots
Well,
game
yeah,
first.
that's yeah.
We'll get the officials
Why not?
after.
All right, let's start with the Patriots game.
Well, the officials. Are
They sucked.
Not really.
Period. I mean, they were
Are
awful.
you going to tell us something we don't know? Come on.
No, I'm not. Not with the Patriots game because that's just how it was. They sucked. They didn't do anything. Brady
Well,
was
played on offense for the
miserable.
last 15 minutes.
And well, I mean, the defense actually played all right in my opinion, at least compared to last year's defense. You know, they actually did okay. They held Arizona to only 20 points, most of which were field goals. You know, and
yeah, I still don't see enough pressure on the quarterback.
well, that's the thing. I don't think they sacked him once, and I agree with that. And maybe that was just Arizona's really good offensive line. Maybe it was the Patriots' inability to cross over. But yeah, there was very little pressure. They had a couple hits behind the line of scrimmage, on the runners.
Running game.
But yeah, I don't think they even rushed Cobb at all.
Yeah.
Cobb, whatever.
Of the points the Arizona got, 10 of them were caused. Well, 7 was the block punt. So what
Yeah,
you
that's-
said about the defense,
Yep.
and I'm only saying that because I thought I read the paper that it said there was 10. So I know that was 7. So I'm sure another field goal.
Yeah, they had the first.
some miscue. So I can't remember.
No, the second
Well,
field goal was because they tipped that one ball from Brady and landed right in the arms.
So that was the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
And then the
block
7
punt.
points. Yep.
But, so there was your 10 points. So you're right. Overall, the defense did have a good game.
Yeah.
You take away those 10 points. I mean, that is part of football, but those are miscues. Those miscues were done by the offense, technically.
Yeah,
Well,
it
they
was
technically,
Well, the
they
biggest
were
one
the
was
offense.
special teams.
the
Well,
block
special
punt.
teams, and
Yeah.
Brady was not a special team.
Nope.
So-
it wasn't Brady.
so
it wasn't Ridley.
The defense, I don't think. I think it's only 2 games and under the season. It's a work in progress. I
Yep.
can see some good light coming on the defense.
And Arizona's defense, you got to
Yeah.
give them credit where
Well,
credit's due.
That's
I
the
mean,
thing I've said to Randy. right along.
Cornerbacks did well.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams, we're so used to like the Patriots quote always up there and everywhere. All these other teams are getting tired of always being the floor mats.
Right.
They've got not all these teams, and I say, well, I bet you 80% of the teams in the NFL have good football teams. There's no real lousy. I mean, how many would you consider really lousy?
the defense or the whole team?
The whole team itself. See, and there's not that.
Yeah, I would have said
parity
Miami,
league.
but
Right,
they just
but-
beat Oakland.
But they just beat.
So maybe Oakland.
That's what I. But still,
always
Oakland
Cleveland.
on paper.
But Cleveland's D is looking mighty good this
So what
year.
you're seeing the same thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
NFL parity
Yeah.
is pretty good. That's
Yeah.
what they were shooting for 20 years ago,
Well, it was funny,
which is good.
when I
for
was
football.
co-hosting the show, I would always say, "When I listen to my satellite radio." Well,
I don't listen.
I do, and I was listening again, and it was Mike and Mike in the morning, and I guess Golick was all ticked off because Greeny did his power rankings the day before. And he did the NFL teams. And he said, number 1 is San Francisco. Number 2, I left blank because there is no number 2 team. And it's fairly accurate. I mean, who would you put in there? Normally you'd put Green Bay, who did miserable.
Well, after 2 weeks, you really can't
It's hard to do, but I mean, that's what it is.
Somebody's going to come out of the pack.
It's power rankings after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You would put the Patriots in there, but they just lost to Arizona. They played a miserable game. You could put Atlanta in there, who is 2-0, but it's like, honestly, if I was to, gun to my head, I have to pick a second best team, I'd have to say Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
which you wouldn't
Atlanta's
have
2-0
said,
as well.
which
Yeah,
you
but
wouldn't
who
have
would they
said
play?
3 weeks ago. Which you wouldn't have said 3 weeks ago.
No, absolutely not. They'd be top 5, I think.
Yeah, well,
but
I think this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe after 2 weeks, right now, San Francisco does look like the outstanding
Yes.
team, and the other 29 throw them in a hat, and that's what I've said that right along, and that's why it's hard to.
They said it's the first time since '92 or '93, I think it was, that there's only 6 undefeated teams
In the
and
beginning of the
6
season
0-2
like this,
teams.
yes.
Yeah,
I
I
know what
happen
you're
to
saying.
have that right here.
Oh, you have it right there.
Yeah.
What's the year? When was the last
Oh,
time?
I don't have the year.
Oh,
But
it's 6
you've
and
got
6.
Philly, Atlanta, Arizona, San Francisco.
Yep.
In the NFC, only 2 in the AFC, in Houston and San Diego.
Houston, San Diego.
And
But who do they
then
play? I
the
mean,
the only 2
Well-
teams, NFC only has 1, New Orleans.
as 0-2.
The other 5 0-2
Are all in
teams
AFC.
are, Kansas City, Oakland, Jacksonville, Tennessee, Cleveland.
Yep.
Not really any huge surprises there.
No, not really. I mean,
I think what we're saying, like who they play, doesn't count anymore, though. We're just saying the same thing.
No,
now, on 3 weeks
no.
ago, though, where
Well,
was Chicago?
no, I-
Where's the Bears in this list 3 weeks ago? Before the season started, is what I'm getting at.
top 10 for sure.
Right. They didn't even not lose. Was it Green Bay?
They lost to Green Bay.
Not that they lost to Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
If you was a Bear fan and watched that game,
Yeah.
they didn't even lose. They were horrible.
Yeah, they were terrible. They were.
So
they
here's
were,
a team that's
They were
up-
awful.
and
Who did
I-
they even beat in week 1? I don't even know.
Well, there again, they were terrible. You can lose.
Yeah.
You can look good losing.
yeah,
Chicago
did not
was.
look good. Well, they didn't even look good
they
winning.
looked even worse than the Patriots losing, and the Patriots looked lousy losing.
Yes,
But
they
the
did.
Bears look worse, and
Yep.
I don't care it was the Packers because the week before the Packers lost.
Well, you know,
To San Francisco, though,
Yeah, they
You know,
look
I
very
think
strong, but it's so the
there
2
there
weeks
is that aspect still. There are still elite teams, but
Right.
I think your overall point is valid.
yeah.
well, you got 20 teams that are 1-1
Yeah.
out of the 32.
Yep.
I mean, 2 weeks, not enough of a sample yet.
Yeah.
But you talk
Buffalo's 1-1,
But you
I
talk.
think.
Well, they are. Everybody's 1-1.
Everyone.
Well, like we said, nobody's 22 teams undefeated.
The
in
entire
AFC.
AFC East is 1-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
So the
old-
Patriots are still in first.
Yeah.
Yep, they haven't lost a division game.
But-
But you know, the
That's
thing
true.
that gets me about the Patriots, well, number one, I still don't think they can survive if they can't put pressure on a quarterback. I don't care what happens. Secondly,
No, I don't think that's necessarily
Well-
true.
Oh,
I don't.
yes.
I don't think that's
a good quarterback's going to kill them.
They got to get pressure. If
which
they don't
quarterback
get 'em-
though. Think about that for a second.
What was that, Randy?
Which quarterback is really going to kill him? Because
But we'll find out next
their
Sunday
division?
night.
Joe Flacco. I think if anyone's going to that they play, it's going to be him. Because Sanchez isn't. I mean, even if he has all the time in the world, he's still going to throw 3 picks in a game.
You're talking AFC East or
No.
No,
Overall,
Sanchez
They play
is
San
like
Francisco
one
this
of
year?
these.
they play San Francisco, but Alex Smith really isn't that good.
Okay. He's got
You
a
know,
team around him.
he's got a really good team around him,
Yeah.
especially a defense
I mean,
that
Ryan-
can
They were
play.
animals the other night. I watched.
I could see Ryan Fitzpatrick having a field day.
Maybe
Well,
in Buffalo, I think. He
I don't
might.
even know who the hell's. Miami. They got that rookie.
Oh God, Tenenbaum. No,
Yeah.
that's the running back.
Tenenbaum.
No, it is Tenenhill, right?
lose that.
Something.
Well, I
Yeah.
still rest my peace on pressure. Grant, you want to tackle the quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
but if you got to get if you get any pressure that gets the hurry ups.
Yeah.
Hurry ups are almost as good.
They're not even doing that.
It's only 2 games into the season, for crying out
I'm
loud,
just-
Boston fans.
Well-
Calm down.
Well, you're saying they're going to
Telling
be
you.
fine, and I'm saying
I didn't say they're going
if-
to be fine. I said give them time. They got rookies in there. We got two
You're
rookies
afraid.
that everybody's got them in the Hall of Fame already. Someday maybe they will be, but they haven't even got a season on their belt.
Well, of course
They
not.
haven't played a 16-game season in their careers.
I'm
They
just
play
saying.
college. What are they?
I'm
10
just
to 12?
saying.
Yeah.
And then when they go in the bowl, they got a month and a half off to get rested.
Yeah.
These
All
guys,
I'm
you know.
saying is, if they don't pressure the quarterback, they're going to be in deep shit.
You didn't say pressure. You said tackle.
I did not say.
You said
No,
sack.
you said sack.
You said sack, and
I
that's
said
what I keep
pressure.
saying.
No, he did
No.
say pressure, actually. He
Well,
did say
I'm
pressure.
saying
And they're not
they're
even
wrong.
doing that. The other thing, which I've been ranting about for years,
And nobody's listened to you for years.
yeah, and shows you how many Super Bowls the Patriots have won, is they don't throw deep and they don't do it enough. Yeah, I think what they throw
but
once.
no. That is going to change. Brandon Marshall is not Brandon Marshall. I'm
Lloyd.
sorry. Brendan Lloyd is a deep threat, and he does get deep. And Gronkowski has been getting really deep.
Right, but they're not throwing the deep passes.
Well, no, because when they go deep, that's when Brady gets sacked. It's
Well-
it's a new offensive line. They only have
Yeah.
what, 2 guys
Yeah.
that are the same, and one of them's not even in the same
But this-
position.
but-
I mean, it is not.
This is nothing new.
Yes,
you know,
it
except
is.
for Randy, when Randy Moss was there.
You're talking about deep threat.
Yeah, I mean they don't. The
Well, they
offensive
just re-signed
coordinators-
Deion Branch too, who is
not
also.
deep threat. Not anymore.
He can
Too old.
be.
Yeah, but they don't use him that way. You saw what they did
But
with
you
him
don't.
last year.
But Randy, see,
Sideline passes.
here's the thing.
10 yards.
And I won't go deep into fantasy because I know Paul's not interested in the fantasy. But you
Someday I
don't
will
give
be.
anybody time to do anything.
That's
You are the most impatient person when it comes to it. Like Paul's saying,
right. I want
it's
results.
it's
God
2
damn it.
weeks into the season.
Now I'm getting rid of some of the deadwood that I didn't want.
And you
in the
did.
First
You
place.
did. Well, you should have drafted him.
Well, that.
correctly, but
Well, we talked about what
but
happened.
I don't know if you saw what just happened this week. I did an overhaul pretty much of my bench.
Oh no.
I did four moves
Well, I did 5
yesterday.
I did 5 yesterday.
You used all 5 of your moves?
Yeah.
Wow.
3 wide receivers, 3 new wide receivers, 2 new
I
wide-
want to
Hey.
make a comment on
But
the state.
let me go back to the
Anyway.
throwing deep. This is nothing new that they don't do enough. You
Yes.
see other teams do it. It doesn't matter if you complete the pass or not.
Yeah.
It prevents the defense from clogging up the middle. Also, you might get a pass interference penalty. I mean, that happens
Right.
often enough. But if you don't throw it deep, none
Not
of
against
that's gonna
Gronkowski though, because he's bigger than all of the cornerbacks and safeties that he'd be up against, and so they always call it on him. Going back to that game, like that holding call that took a touchdown away.
Well, it wasn't a touchdown, but it was a good gain that Woodhead had.
Yes, it was.
It was a
Oh,
touchdown.
you're right. You're right. Excuse me.
Yeah, and they
And that was
called
a flip
it
of
back.
a coin. That's one of those.
He
Yeah.
didn't touch him. He
No,
was
they-
being
you know how it's
held.
right, yeah.
He touched
I saw
him.
it.
He touched
but
him.
it's one of those that they
He was hitting the arm that was holding
No,
him
but he-
off.
90%. I saw a game the other night that the offensive guy was holding the defensive guy, and the guy was trying to make a tackle. I mean, really blatant. But that's what we're going to get onto our officials in a minute, and that's part of the problem there too.
Well,
in my
we're there
opinion.
now. so
That's
let's
a
go.
major problem.
Well,
So
I
let's
wanted
go
to
right
say
into
one
that.
quick thing. A lot of things have always irked me for years and years, and when people make statements. And Randy, a couple seconds ago, he said why the Patriots lose all those, haven't won those Super Bowls. Well, my comment on that is, and it's always been a quirk with me. The Minnesota Vikings were supposedly losers, but they got into the Super Bowl more than some teams haven't even been in it yet. So I hate it when people. In other words, when you get to the Super
I thought
Bowl.
you didn't like the word hate.
Well, I don't like to use that word, but in the case of, like, people say, oh, like the Minnesota Vikings with Fran Tarkenton and Grant was the older, oh, they were losers. They lost in the Super Bowl two times, 3 times, Buffalo.
In a row.
There's some teams that never even gotten to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's only 2 teams that get there. Only one wins it every year.
Right.
So that part there. Now on the officials, I'm going to hit my first one on the officials.
Well, no,
You
no.
know
I
what
have to
this
touch
stuff-
on something you just
Okay,
said
go
though
ahead.
first.
Go ahead.
You, and I know you don't like to use the word hate, but you
Right.
do seem to hate the Boston fans.
Dislike.
Okay, just like heavily, passionately. There we go.
That's from the days of.
But
the pub.
you have to understand, and maybe you can appreciate that we are passionate fans.
Since 2004.
Oh, you kidding?
Oh, you're talking about Red Sox right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Oh.
talking about true fans of Boston
Hey, I
sports.
grew up suffering with the Red Sox.
All right.
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah, I did too.
My father never got to see them win
Yeah,
a World
well.
Series.
Go ahead, I'll give you that one.
Anyway, so not even including baseball at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Even when we are losing, even when we're 4-12, if they don't make the playoffs, and especially if they don't win a Super Bowl, it is a disappointment of a season. Even when they went up against Green Bay in '98 or whatever it was,
Right.
and they lost that Super Bowl, everyone was pissed.
Yeah.
They had no reason to even be in the Super Bowl,
Right.
let alone win it.
Well, they let a
that's
kick
right.
returner beat them.
The only thing I want to
Yeah.
correct, you're 100% right on what I feel about the Red Sox fans,
Yes.
but I don't feel that way of all the other Boston fans. I've never said anything negative
But
about
they're all the
Patriots.
same.
No,
They're not all the
no,
same.
no,
But
no.
see, my
It-
issue
it-
is
it's-
with that comment, and we'll go to the refs next.
Yeah.
Is that they're all the true fans are all the same. They like all those sports. You don't like the bandwagon fans.
Yeah.
I don't like them either. They give us a bad name,
Yeah.
and they buy up all the
That's it.
seats for all this money,
Yeah.
and it drives me
But-
nuts.
And ticket agencies do that. Look at all,
But that's why we sometimes have the strong feelings that we do, because we are fans, we have been fans, and you hate to see them lose for stupid reasons.
Right.
And there again, we won't badger it one way or the other. You're right. I admit, I keep saying the Red Sox fans.
Yes.
Okay? If I clumped them in there, I somewhat apologize, clumping them in, because there
Yeah.
are good fans. But there's a lot of arrogant,
Oh yes.
misinformed,
Yep.
every word you can think of what I'm saying about a Red Sox fan. That's all. And that's from personal experience
Anyone.
of going to Fenway Park
Yes.
with a different shirt on,
Yep.
and you walk up there
Oh, and you get
with
beer
a
thrown on
kid,
ya.
10-year-old kid with you, and some idiot, the game hasn't even started yet, and starts on your back. Yes, I clump them in there on that guy. Because the other fans who saw them do it, who were good fans, did nothing either. So they're all
Maybe
clumped.
it has something to do with Massachusetts.
It is.
It
We're
definitely
massholes.
does, Massachusetts.
Massholes.
New England is
You know, because,
Massachusetts.
I mean, when you go to a Yankees game, do the Yankees fans sing,
Yes.
Yes.
Red Sox suck, Red Sox
Yes.
suck?
Yes.
But-
they're almost actually. I think the Yankee fans that go to Yankee Stadium, because they're most of them are also bandwagon fans.
Yeah.
They're just as bad, if not worse, than Red Sox fans.
And that's the part I'm going to admit.
Yeah, but
But my son went to a Yankee game, but he sat in with a bunch of Yankee fans who were just
Right.
like Andrew Eaton.
Yes.
He said, Dad, he says, you could not believe how those Yankees, and he said, I had my Red Sox hat on, how they treated me. He says they were
buying them hot dogs.
no, all I'm saying is we're saying it like that, right?
Right.
And-
And
Well, you
there's
know, that-
there's
So
a
I
few
think-
rivalries.
Is
I
that
Now-
any worse than the basketball fans, like in Los Angeles or even New York?
I just
That
think
aren't fans, but they know the right people, and they get to sit, in the second row, and they don't even have a friggin' clue what the game is
Well,
about.
Like all the
But
rappers
they like
and
to be
everything?
seen
Yes.
on TV.
All the celebrities.
I think on the fans, fan stands for a fanatic.
Right.
And I think that I know that's what my problem is on the fan. I see a lot of fans that are fanatics,
Uh-huh.
which to me is a negative. Okay, I don't mean the plus on the fanatic. I mean they're crazy. They do. I mean,
Yeah, but
but it's we're not the only city. That's right. New York.
and Boston, I don't think
Imagine
is the
Philly
worst.
Probably.
Oh, Philly.
That's who I was going to
Philly's
say is the
another-
worst.
So, I mean-
Philly is the worst
Well,
for
at least
sports
they got
fans.
the worst reputation. Definitely, like throwing
I
snowballs
think-
at Santa Claus and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
they booed Santa.
Yeah,
They
whatever. that's
booed
it.
him.
But you know,
And they
once you
threw
get that-
snowballs
Yeah.
at him. No,
But
they
you're
are just
All right,
they're
hey, look,
pitiful.
we got
Yeah.
about 7.5
Okay.
minutes before we have to take a break.
Yes.
All right, and I want to ask you one thing about Gronkowski, and I'm going to let you guys
Okay, here we go.
tear each other's throats apart. But
I don't think we're going to tear each other's throats.
I think
No,
we're
this
going to
is
tear
fun.
your throat out.
all right, no, the holding call that negated Woodhead's touchdown.
Yes.
Not to mention that Gostkowski should have never missed a field goal.
Well, right.
Of course, you
Shouldn't have had a
go
chance
one
to
play
kick it
before
either.
that. Arizona should have never had the
Fumble.
run play they had either. But
Right.
the holding call, what I saw is Gronkowski's making a legitimate block, and the guy turns his back because the play is now going past him.
Right.
So Gronk continues to block, but the guy, turned his back to him. Now it's a block in the back. You don't call that.
No.
I mean, that's a,
Because it's not really
not
a
if
block
you're
to
a
the
real
back.
ref.
Well, because it's not really a block to the back. If a running back was coming right behind Gronkowski, and he wasn't.
No, he's way to the right.
He was
He's already
not
by him.
really close at all. And
No, but the guy turned anyway.
Well, the other thing is the flag got thrown. The running back was already by him. The play was dead. That's another thing that some officials say. The play was already 10 yards by him.
All right, so let's go. The refs.
Oh. Good.
where would you
You
like
have
to
first
begin?
crack.
All right, I'll get first crack then.
Yeah, all right.
And let's start with that play. I mean, besides offensive linemen, unless it's a blatant hold, how do you even call that? I mean, the thing is there was what I saw, and I don't think I'm the only one who saw this, but you're right. He's going. The guy starts to turn. He doesn't really hit him on the back. He hits him on the side as he's turning.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
And it's a legal block.
It was
what he did was a legal block. Period. What I then saw was Gronkowski going toward the next guy, and he and the jersey was caught on something, and it certainly looked like a hand. So why is it that Gronkowski gets called for the holding when it was the defensive guy that was holding, which you can call on? There is defensive holding penalties. People don't realize this, but there are.
Well, I think they do.
Well, the replacement refs certainly don't. But
So, all right, so that's the play. So
that, honestly, I don't think they did the worst job in the world with that Patriots game. They did pretty bad, but compared to some other games, and the one that I'm going to bring up is Monday night. What was it, Atlanta and Denver?
I saw
Did
some
you
of it,
catch
but
any of that?
not the whole.
I had to turn the game off shortly after halftime because it was already like 11 o'clock. I mean, the first quarter took an hour and a half to play because these refs are throwing flags and then they're discussing and they're meeting for 25 minutes about one frickin'
Not
flag.
exaggerating, right?
A little.
Oh, okay.
Only a little.
Oh.
It was,
22 minutes.
there had to have been at least one that they met for 15 minutes. There was at least one
15?
I saw. 15. No joke. No joke.
How come the NFL doesn't give these substitute officials legitimate help up in the booth?
They do.
Pereira. I mean,
They
like
actually-
Pereira, they always talk about when he's there. But why don't they have somebody
Well-
that helps them make the right decision?
Supposedly
Can't do
there
that on
is.
every play.
Well, but what they did now, though, is on turnovers, in addition to touchdowns, they are now reviewed in the booth.
Well, that's what I'm
And
saying.
there
Right, but
is.
who's in the booth? Another replacement official?
Yeah,
Probably.
that's what that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be in the, because it's
Well, it
their
has to be.
NFL.
It has to be, though. Because
If
they've
the
locked
NFL
out the
gets
real
somebody like
refs.
Pereira's status, who is
He
an
can't be
experienced retired official.
Right.
There
There might be. It might be a
Well,
retired
that's what I'm
officials
saying.
in the
Who comes
booth.
up there and he can see the replays. If
But-
we can, as a fan, see them, and most of the time we can
Well,
make the
But you
Yeah, but
don't.
those
You
guys
don't
may
want
not
someone
even
like
do
like
that.
Randy up in the booth.
No.
I mean, come on. I mean, you don't want these old guys up in the booth either.
I just want
All
somebody
right,
that
let's get
I just want somebody that knows the rules,
right.
and he can make a decision within a
Well,
reasonable
the,
time.
The thing is
That's what I want.
I want
Andrew wants robo-refs.
I want robo-refs. I do. I absolutely do. Just take the human element completely
Like in
out of
tennis,
it.
they got the eye on the lines.
Yeah. And it works, doesn't it?
So you don't need
I
to
don't know. I
worry.
don't watch tennis.
I don't really watch tennis either, so I don't know.
I don't. But it sees the ball, so if the ball is close, it calls it in or out. So Andrew wants.
And I don't, but I think regardless, and they never even.
Maybe they should let the fans
But
vote.
before this year, they didn't have refs up in the booth.
Yeah, they did.
They had one guy.
Well, yeah. Because in the last 2 minutes of the first half,
Right, it has to be reviewed
Yeah,
up in,
so
up in
there's
the
always
booth.
somebody
So
up
there's somebody, but are they actual
Well,
refs?
Who do you think the ref is talking to?
Well, that's
when
what
he
I
goes
wanna
under
know.
the hood?
That's what I want
He's
to know.
talking
Who
to the ref in the booth.
is he, or is he just talking to the video guys and saying, "Show me this angle,
No, I
show
don't
me
think
this
so.
angle"? But my thing is maybe there needs to be more people in the booth and less on the field, because, from what I'm seeing is, especially on this Monday night replacement ref thing, is there's 6 freaking refs on the field and they all saw something different.
Well, that's happened a lot, where they'll make 2 different calls on the same play.
Oh yeah.
And then I guess it's the tallest guy or the
whoever has the white
win.
hat. That's
White man with the white.
he overrides.
I saw one play. It must have been in the Patriots game, where they had a review, and they got it right under review. But it was the ref's call. The play was right in front of the ref. I mean, it couldn't have been any further than from me to that camera, and by the way, the camera's not that far away. But it was right in front of him. Not a clear, unobstructed view.
Right.
It was his call,
and he didn't.
and he needed to go under the booth to be able to get it right.
We gotta take a break.
In the Monday night, we
Now we got a minute.
In the Monday night game, on that note, there was the Denver coach. Is it Fox still?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Fox.
Yeah.
He's arguing with the ref, and he's saying, "What was the call?
Right.
What's going on? What is?" Because he had no idea, and so he goes, "Okay," and he throws his challenge flag. So you know what the replacement ref that he's talking to does? He throws his yellow flag.
College.
What?
College.
Like
mentality.
wait, no. The red flag is for a challenge. You don't throw your yellow flag for that. You shut up and you let him challenge it. And luckily there wasn't a call. But I mean, it was absolutely insane.
Right.
And John Gruden was pissed.
Livid.
Oh my God, he was
livid.
Oh, he was going. So I'll let us go into break now.
Yeah, well, we got
with
about
that to chew
Yeah,
on.
now's as good a time as any.
When we come back, we'll hit the same officials again. But I want.
Yeah, let's beat them while they're down.
Oh, absolutely.
When's the NFL gonna? What's gonna make them finally decide to give in and take care of this mess? I got my opinion when we come back.
Cake's ready. Take it out of the oven. Hey, look, don't go anywhere. It's going to be less than 2 minutes. We're going to be right back. We just need to compose ourselves. But do please pay attention to the underwriter information you're going to see, and we'll see you very shortly. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support Community TV. Some of the refreshing and satisfying products offered by Coca-Cola are Coke, Diet Coke, Coke Zero, Sprite, Fanta, Dr. Pepper, and Moxie. 125 years and still teaching the world to sing.
Kinlan Grover Real Estate sells and lists more property than any other real estate company on Cape Cod and is pleased to support community television and the Dukes of Sports.
Heritage Floor Covering supports community television and is located in Heritage Park off Route 130 Sandwich. When you look down, we look good. Carpet, vinyl, tile, and laminates. Sales, service, and installation with 40 years experience.
The Sagamore Inn, 1131 Route 6A in Sagamore, is happy to support community television. We are open for lunch and dinner every day and specialize in Italian-American cuisine, fresh native seafood, and specials.
Sandwich Animal Hospital, 492 Route 6A in East Sandwich, is pleased to support community television. We are accredited by the American Animal Hospital Association and offer surgery, dentistry, general, and preventative care. Appointments are available Monday through Saturday, 508-888-2774. Feel free to visit our website.
Sandwich Car Wash is easy to find on Route 130 Sandwich near Coca-Cola, 1.5 miles off Route 6, Exit 2. Save even more with our 1 or 3 month passes for unlimited state-of-the-art washes. We invite you to visit our website, sandwichcarwash.com. Open daily.
Hey, we're back. We're back. The second half of the Dukes of Sports. We're just having a little friendly discussion about football and the referees. So we'll continue that. But let's allow a little bit of time just to touch on baseball. Well, American League isn't not that many close races. The National League still has a few more teams that are in the wild card stuff. So anyways, let's back to your friends, the refs.
My point is, like, when's and right now I'm going to blame the NFL for this
absolutely.
stuff. I don't care what these the officials want. At this point, it's getting ridiculous. They've watered their product down even worse than my favorite complaint of the exhibition season and paying top dollar. But now they're really watering it down. Do you know, and I know, Andrew, you guys watch real close too, but I know Andrew really gets picky on watching a game, which is great. But do you notice how, I'm going to get to a point though when I'm done, is the cheap stuff that's being done?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Belichick's to every NFL coach is telling Andrew Eaton, you know how they used to, if you hold a guy 10 plays in a row, go ahead. They're only going to call 6.
Right.
We're going to get away if they call 6.
Right.
So all these defense, especially defense, I'm speaking basically defense, the hold the jerseys. And they all have their tricks. There's that's always been famous. But the NFL really, usually, the number one officials, they make mistakes too. We weren't saying they didn't do that. But these guys, like you just said, when Fox throws a red flag, this official throws a yellow. Like, what ball game are you at? Are you at the same place we are? My question is, when's the NFL gonna, my opinion, when they're gonna smarten up? When at least twice this weekend, and it was your Atlanta game, and there was another game, in the Atlanta one, quarterback goes down on his slide, and 2 guys hit him.
Yep.
And then an offensive lineman, you were one of the guys that hit him, went up to you and pushed you. Now, no flags now.
Right.
No flags yet. I saw this. No flags yet. But when you pushed Randy because Randy jumped on Ryan.
Right.
Referee comes along from the camera and throws the flag.
Right at him too. Do you see?
I'm going, I hope he's not calling it on Andrew, the offensive lineman.
Yeah.
He did call it on these guys. What took them so long to throw the flag? So when the NFL's going to smarten up, when one of their $20 million quarterbacks gets hurt on a dumb play like that, until this year, I don't think that happens in the whole course of the year, and I know it must. But we'll just say one team does it, every team does it once the whole year and hits a quarterback like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen it so many times.
It happened twice over this weekend.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen it so much. Is that what they're going to wait for? It's like, well, no big deal. I buy insurance policies like the airlines. It's cheaper for them to buy insurance policies on a plane that crashed with 300 people.
Right.
Right? That's the old theory. And so the NFL is saying the same thing. Nobody got hurt yet. But when the guy gets hurt, all of a sudden Ryan, Brady, anybody, any quarterback, Flacco, that's my opinion on, and this is where it's going to go.
Right.
But
until they smarten up.
But you talk about holding. This isn't so much the refs, but with defensive backs and stuff. But whatever happened to playing tight on the line of scrimmage, as opposed to 7 yards off the line of scrimmage, and you've got 5 yards.
Do you know,
you can beat the daylights out of that wide receiver. You'd have to hold him, just hit him,
knock him out.
smack him.
What's your opinion on that, Andrew? I think
that
I think
to me would disrupt the timing of any friggin' play, but I seldom see it done.
No, I think a lot of defenses do that. If they're worth anything, they usually have a player that will do that. Or you have someone like Asante Samuel who just hits you and you're out. I mean,
but they should do that with any receiver on a line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they should. Well, I can tell you my theory on that, on maybe part of why a lot of defenses aren't doing that anymore, is that I think Wilf got called on it, was if these linemen, or even a linebacker really, if they come up, and even if they don't cross the line of scrimmage, if they force the offensive line to move, they get called on that. And I'm going, I played high school football. And I was an offensive lineman and a defensive linebacker. So we used to run up to that line of scrimmage.
Right.
And occasionally we would even jump over the line of scrimmage and jump back before the ball was hiked to get them to move.
Yeah,
That's the whole purpose. And now you can't even do that.
You can run up to the line of
You
scrimmage.
can't do that anymore.
You can
You
do that.
entice.
You can't entice at all.
But you can't go
No.
over the line.
Even that. If a linebacker runs up to the line of scrimmage and goes boogie, 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 and the offensive lineman goes ho, 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 and moves his arm, he does not get a false start.
He can do it if he doesn't cross the line of scrimmage.
No, he cannot.
It's when you get in the neutral zone that you get in trouble.
Well, I know
But
I was...
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the cornerbacks and the safeties just whacking the daylights out of the receivers.
Well, a lot of them are hanging back because they're waiting, because they want to get the pick. They don't care about breaking up the play unless it's smacking the ball
that's
down.
stupid. How many passes got completed versus interceptions? I mean,
Well, that's the thing. They
You
want
get
to
up-
change that
You can
ratio.
get up to a yard away from that receiver.
Yeah.
And just don't let him get into his pattern.
Well, that's basically what they
I think
do.
your theory is right. I think football's changed too much. I
Yes.
think a lot of these guys are stronger and faster. And the defensive guy, if he's on top of them, these guys will get around them. And if you
You got 5 yards. You
yeah,
can,
and if you got 5 yards and you got a Brady, and all of a sudden he tries to knock Gronkowski on his bit, and Gronkowski dekes the defensive guy just to the
I
side.
don't
There's
think-
nobody behind that guy now.
I don't think anybody can deke him
Oh yeah,
Ooh,
I
I've
do.
seen it.
yeah, I
from
do.
1
hey,
yard with
I
no
get it.
head start.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These
definitely.
these guys are basically just giant running backs.
It is the same thing. The offensive guy knows what he's going to be
But
doing.
usually the
defensive
running
guy
back,
doesn't.
when he dekes somebody, has already got some momentum going.
Well, they do the whole stacker step anyway. I mean,
Well,
what's the
good.
difference if
Well,
they
then
go
that's gonna-
if they fake one way and go the other?
Well, that's
and
going to mess up
well,
the pattern too. A lot of those are timing patterns.
some of them.
I think the majority, if you bump into the line, the offense is going
I
to.
mean, how many
Well,
plays
no.
have you seen with it?
My thing is though you're talking about timing of it. I think they factor that in as part of the time, but whether it's them getting hit by the defensive guy for 5 yards or
I don't think
they're stutter stepping around it. But I want to segue in a minute. First, I want to.
But that is not a segue.
What was that word you used?
Segue. I want to segue.
Yeah, it's that little vehicle.
It's a little vehicle with 2 wheels. I want one of those too. But no, in a minute I'm
like
gonna
to drive
change
it.
subjects.
Go ahead.
All right.
That's fine. Come on.
But first I'm gonna answer your question, and you're right
What?
about when they're gonna finally
Okay,
just
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
And I think you're right. I think finally when a franchise player goes down, that's when they're finally gonna wake up and do it. And I think it's ridiculous because the NFL has the money. They've got Thursday night games every single week, all the way up until week 16 of 17.
I
On
didn't
week
notice
16,
that.
it's a Saturday night game instead of a Thursday night. And then week 17 is the only one that has just Sunday and maybe a Monday. And they're all in the NFL network. And that goes into the NFL's pocket. Just take that money right there. Just take one game's worth of ads and say, here you go, refs, divvy it up. Because they're getting probably $1 billion just from advertising a season.
Yeah, and
Easy.
what they're doing with the games, like you're saying before, just say 2-3 years ago, you used to have to buy the package with the certain cable companies.
Yep.
And everything.
Well, now cable doesn't even have it.
That's exactly right. That's what I was going to say.
except for
Cable doesn't have it. Dish TV, which is another cable network, but it's Dish.
It's a
satellite.
They have the package. They're giving you the full package.
Yeah, if you
As
sign
part-
up.
If you probably sign up for 2 years.
sign up for 2 years.
That's fine. But
Yeah.
in other words, it was an elite package 3 years ago because, and baseball will go there eventually because it's getting that way
Yep.
too. Because I used to buy the baseball one, and that was
Yeah.
one of the best deals you could get if you were a sport nut.
Yeah.
And,
And they have a hockey and there's a
but
basketball.
The baseball one,
They've got
had the
everything.
what it is you had all baseball games of, like in our reference, we'll say Nesson over here.
Yeah.
If you're in California, you watch Nesson.
Yep. Oh yeah.
It was
And satellite, you can
Fox-
still do that.
with Fox.
And
So
and
that-
even with
you
a
got
lot
the
of
whole, you got
cable
every
companies, you
baseball
can.
team.
there's
What-
sport packages you can get,
Yeah.
but it's above and beyond, and that's
Yeah.
all going in mostly the NFL or NBA or whatever sport it is in their pocket
Right.
and everything else.
That's right. And
But I want to point something else out
ahead.
that you guys probably are not aware of is
Randy,
online.
I'm aware of
is
I
online.
know all about it.
Right.
You know, I don't have expanded cable. I have the basic
Right.
cable. And in fact, I don't even have one of those stupid little boxes either. So I don't even get analog anything. I'm paying for it, but I don't even
Well, there's
get
no analog
analog
anymore.
channels because there is no. You have to get the digital box.
Yeah.
I go with-
So I have HD channels on my HD TV,
Right.
but there's 32 of them. I think 20 of them are actually channels, and I don't know, 6 of those are PBS. You know,
I like
I like PBS too. There's nothing wrong with that.
You get all your sports on this site?
Nope, I get nothing.
What don't you get?
Not anything. I don't get anything. I
Okay,
get
go ahead. What's your
ABC,
number
NBC,
something
CBS,
on the
Fox. I
computer?
get those basics. So for what am I? So if I'm upstairs,
Yep.
where the HD TV is not, and I want to watch Sunday Night Football on NBC, I can't
Right.
even do that because I don't have one of those boxes in my room.
I'm
So
following.
I have a laptop, and I pull the laptop up, and I can watch it streaming live because it's NBC, and that's free. ESPN, I don't get it. NESN, I don't get it. NFL Network, most certainly I don't get. Now, in other sports, so if I wanted to watch the Red Sox, they have MLB TV online, MLB.TV.
Right, it's the same that package I just told you.
It's similar. Well, no, it's similar. You're talking about the cable package, I think.
No, it's the same.
It is,
the same.
but
it is the same.
you're talking on cable or satellite.
Right,
This
but
is
I had that one
solely
on the
streaming.
computer. Go ahead.
Okay, so they have that, and I'm a big Red Sox fan, so
Yeah.
I said, okay, I don't have cable, I want to get this. So I go
Right.
and I look into it, and it's not super expensive. It's
No, go ahead.
$60 a year or
I
something.
know all
like
about it.
And so I go in there and I'm getting all ready and I'm like, I talked to my wife. She's okay with me doing it. Everything's great. And then I look in the fine print and it says, if you live in the area of the sports team, it's blacked out. So because I'm
Correct.
in Massachusetts, I can't get
On your computer.
the Red Sox games
Well, why don't you
on
just
the
get
computer.
we've got like digital preferred, and we get like 3
Well,
channels.
they're
I got the
Comcast
MLB.
just offered me something enticing, and we may be getting all that,
Okay, finish
and I'll
what
get
you
all
were
the
getting
things.
at. I know what you're
But
saying.
it's ridiculous.
They're blacked out.
They're
Yeah.
blacked out because of the cable monopoly and cable and satellite monopolies that they have,
I
and
told
that's
you,
exactly
it's-
what you're
it's the same,
saying.
It's the same thing, Andrew, because I did
So, yeah.
buy that package.
Yeah.
And when I used to watch it on TV.
Yeah, it was still blacked out.
Yes. That's
Well,
what I'm
because you
trying
had
to say.
NESN. Okay.
Yeah, because we have Nesson.
Right.
And we have also, that's even
the-
a basic channel like in Comcast now.
Yeah.
On my Comcast channel.
There's a Comcast
dial
Sportsnet.
38.
Yeah. Okay.
That's supposed to be Nesson, but not the HD Nesson.
Well, there's NESN and NESN Plus. So if there's like a
no,
hockey
this
and
is- if you go to channel 38 with your button, boom, 38.
I can't, but yeah.
You okay? All right, you don't even have the little black.
I don't even have that.
They give you that one for nothing.
I know. I have to go and get it, but
They'll mail it to you because I got 2 of them.
I know.
So,
It's okay.
but
I'm not blaming them for that.
now,
I'm just
that other thing
using
there
it
is
as an
if
example.
You ever got that? I tried that 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And the computer kept crashing. Not the computer kept crashing. The MLB kept crashing.
Yeah, and
if
they
you went to
buffer, and it's
the
not always in
comments with
HD.
the people, you should have seen the negative comments
Yeah,
constantly.
yeah.
And once you buy,
And NFL doesn't even offer anything like that.
right? But Major League Baseball.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Why don't we talk about?
Wait a minute, we're not done yet.
I'm not sure how.
Well, this went a little.
Is.
Well, because the sports affiliates, the sports
Money.
leagues own all
Money.
of these channels.
That's what it is.
They own everything. What MLB TV is from MLB.com.
Yeah,
the
I know.
Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
They own that. So if you pay that $60 a year, that's going into their pocket.
Why not?
And it pays, and maybe $10 of that, is going toward bandwidth per person.
Yeah.
The rest of it is profit. There's no money in that. They don't have ads. They do
using
actually. They
bait.
have banners and they have things like that. So they're still getting paid from the
We're
ads.
using baseball, but it's football. It does the same
But
thing.
well, no, they don't. They don't have any online streaming, which is ridiculous. But that is a whole different
Well,
topic.
then you can buy the Red Zone, the NFL Red Zone.
Right.
But
That's an extra cost, and that's still going right into their pocket. What the whole purpose of my rant and our rant with
Right.
this is that the NFL has the money to just pay the frickin' refs. The thing, they're not asking for much. These guys are getting paid like $100,000, which is nice for essentially a part-time job for a seasonal position. But just they want like 120 or 150.
I know.
I mean, it's not a significant jump by NFL standards.
Not on
My
professional
point
standards.
a while ago was, at some point they're going to settle this.
Eventually.
And they're probably going to agree to a figure in the middle somewhere.
Probably.
Why is it taking so long? Just do it.
Because the NFL won't talk to them anymore.
Well, the players,
That's the thing.
I mean, it's both.
Well, now the players and
The
even a
refs
lot of
got
the
it.
managers
I mean,
and
the
the
NHL,
owners
the
and
NHL's
everyone.
got their
You don't
fourth
think-
work stoppage.
I know,
How
that's-
stupid are they?
This is
You don't think the coaches are complaining today?
everyone is now complaining,
on.
except
I mean,
for the
like
uppity
what?
ups
Yeah.
of the
But,
NFL.
hey, I just want to tell you one thing about still on
All right.
football.
Do we have to listen to you?
No, I don't
right.
care. I'm talking to these nice people out here. I've got the perfect goal line play. Anywhere, say, the 3, maybe the 2-yard in. This will work on 2-point conversions as well, right?
Even though they're like 4
This
yards
is,
out.
This is Brady. No, 2 points is, I think, on the 2-yard line.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts on 2, yeah.
So,
Oh,
this is for a guy like
we
Brady.
got you on that one.
Not a mobile. I got him on almost every.
Oh, yeah, age.
Yes, I can double you, maybe triple you. But in any event, you got Brady, not a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, except when the little 2-yard dash.
Well, straight ahead, but I mean, he's better on a 1-yard dash. You
Come
don't-
on, we got to get this.
Anyway,
Oh,
get to
yeah.
it,
All right,
get to
so what you do is you line up. You use some motion. You got a guy on the right side of the quarterback. He goes in motion. Everything's going to your left. Okay.
Yeah.
Ball is hiked. The tackle's out. He's pulling to his left. The running back's going to his left. Brady, with a masterful sleight of hand, puts that ball right in the running back's stomach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pulls it back out, turns himself around. He's going naked bootleg to that other right corner of the end zone. But just in case, the tight end that was lined up on the left side, he's done his little bump, and he's just sneaking through the crowd. So if Brady can't make it, you got this guy going against the flow that he can just talk. I bet you that friggin' thing will work every time until they get wise to it.
Well, you should write Belichick and see if he'll use
That's what
that
you said.
play.
Done it. He won't. He won't answer my emails.
So, okay.
No, don't you think?
Yeah, I think that
I mean,
sounds like it
even
would
a
work.
On
Brady,
paper.
even
On paper, it's true.
well, you try it out.
Every play's a
Right.
touchdown on paper.
You try it out. No, you try it out against your own defense
Yeah.
without telling them what's coming.
Yeah.
And even Brady, who is not fleet of foot, should be able to get his butt 2 yards into that end zone. Now, granted,
Should.
it's more than 2 because he's
Now,
behind the
you're
line of
quarterback is
scrimmage.
jeopardy now.
I don't care. Got to
For a
score.
two-point
Oh,
conversion.
see, I don't
But
know.
that's why you
For a
got.
2-point conversion.
Those
you imagine-
quarterbacks might get confused and
that's
have
what-
to slide.
That's why you got that third
He gets
tight
hit, you're going to
end.
hear it.
You
So-
got that third tight end
Yes.
sneaking down the line, so he's got an option. If he can't make it, he's got that guy. Because theoretically, the defense should all be flowing left. 'Cause who the hell's going to think of Brady doing a naked bootleg? I think.
Yeah. It
might-
sounds like
I
it would work.
almost hurt myself trying to pat myself on the back.
Oh, wow.
For,
Here.
I mean, that is a brilliant.
There you go.
That's a brilliant
Brilliant.
concept. And why I'm not the offensive coordinator calling for occasional deep throws, I don't know that either. I'm
Well, it's because
really,
McDaniels
really
is, and
confused.
he doesn't like deep threats.
All right, hey, we
So-
got 7 minutes left.
I know,
still want to
and-
do a little baseball.
I have one more thing about football that I need to
You're not
get
trying to
off
be
my
quiet.
chest.
He's
Now
gonna-
try to be quiet.
So-
I got a
so
feeling
I'll-
I'm not going to like this. But
I'll try and just make it quick, and then we can discuss it more on Facebook or something. The Giants-Bucks game. Did everyone catch the end of that game?
Yep.
Okay. Giants
Some good.
came from behind,
Yep.
got ahead, kneeled with 5 seconds left. Tampa, who didn't feel like they were out of it, went after Eli.
Yep.
Coughlin lost it.
Right.
Everyone else, no one's apologizing. Jerry Jones came out today and said he hates the kneel down. And I agree with him 100%. He thinks it's a waste of the fans' times, the football time. I mean, unless it's more than 2 scores with under a minute left,
Just, yeah. What's
I
he
mean,
saying? End the game
yeah.
instead. Okay, I'm asking.
Well, no, I'm not saying
Well, they're
that.
doing
I'm saying that's a play. If Brady kneels, it's a play, and that defense should be trying to fumble
until his knee hits the ground. He's fair game.
And that's what they were doing.
And see, a lot of this came about before you were born, probably. But
yes.
Remember Joe Pisarcik in the game
Eagles.
against the Eagles, and it was Herman Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They had the game won. They were just running out the clock.
Right to
but
his legs.
nobody did that back then. No.
Right.
He went to hand it off. It was a fumble.
It was a fumble.
Herman Edwards picks it up, runs it in. Philly wins the game.
Yep. That's what it needs to be.
But they took a survey the other day of so-called viewers, fans, whatever.
I never get called for those.
Well, it was an online thing, I guess.
Oh.
But do you agree with Tom Coughlin or not?
No.
Like 2/3 at least of the people agree with Coughlin.
I know.
Which I don't understand. I agree with you. The game isn't over. If he's going to take this sweet-ass time about getting his knee to the ground, and you got a chance to knock that ball loose,
I've seen it happen.
Go for it.
I think it only happened once, but I think I've seen it happen.
Throw it in there at the end of that Atlanta game. You probably went to bed, like you said. Gruden's opinion played the complete fence. Listen to his comment was on that one, because they asked him.
Yep.
He says, I've taught my guys to play until the game is over.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a protocol. That's just what he said. In other words, in one sense, because Gruden is that type. Gruden's
I
the
know,
type,
he is.
I'm going to beat you up. And that's he's playing just exactly what you're saying.
Yep.
Played to the end. But then, at the same statement,
He's agreeing with Coughlin.
he made the comment, there is an unwritten etiquette.
There is. And
So
we'll talk more about this on Facebook. Let's
All right.
wrap it up
Hey.
with some baseball.
all right, here we go with the playoffs, or the standings, rather.
If the season ended today, yes.
Yeah. National League is pretty cut and dry. You got Washington. They got a 5.5 game lead on Atlanta. They should be good. They got the best record in baseball, believe it or
Oh
not.
my God.
Atlanta, 85-64 record. They should be a shoo-in for a wild card.
How many games up are they for the Wild?
Well, let me just go here. St. Louis 78-70. That's a big difference in one loss, and the Dodgers.
Yeah, they're one game up.
76-71. Yeah, 1.5 behind St. Louis. Cincinnati's got an 11-game lead. They're going to win their division.
They've already locked it up then, right?
San Francisco's got, 8.5? Figure they got
Yeah.
it. So the real race that I can see, unless Atlanta collapses, is St. Louis and Dodgers.
Wild card.
A bit of a
The
dogfight
second wild
for
card.
the second wild
The
card.
second wild.
Which means they still have one playoff game to play to get into the playoffs.
Right.
Still money.
But
Yep. It's still something.
now the American League's a little more wide open. You got the Yankees and Baltimore. One of them's going to be in first place. One of them's going to be in second. I printed this out yesterday.
And the second place is probably winning one of the wild card
Right.
spots.
Yeah, because there's only a half game difference between the two. Tampa Bay, I think, they're still in the wild card hunt, but they're 6 games behind the Yankees right now, and a little bit thanks to the Red Sox. Red Sox, their best thing is playing spoiler this year.
Yep.
In the Central, you got the White Sox in Detroit, 3 games.
That's a race.
It still could
Really,
go.
that's easy. 'Cause I think they played.
Same thing in the West.
so.
Texas and Oakland. Oakland's only 3 games back of Texas. So you got a lot of teams for the wild card. You got Baltimore or the Yankees. And you're right. I think it should be one of those two. Will be one of the wild cards. But then you got Detroit, Oakland, and still the Angels have a shot. So there's a lot of wild card possibilities still, and even potentially first place possibilities in the American League. Like I said, National League is set for one wild card spot. It's pretty well set. You guys got any thoughts?
This is what Major League Baseball wanted. They
Yeah.
want to. I call the word
All right.
parity again,
We're
just
under
like
2 minutes.
football. Right, Andrew? They don't want the empty seats. They want the fans to
Right.
keep hanging in there. No way. How do you hang? More
And yet the
teams that are
Rays
in there
had
for the
1,200
race.
people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where was that one?
Tampa.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
1,200, that's it.
embarrassing.
Ridiculous.
Anyway, we want to talk
So-
playoffs. You know, I
So you
think
think-
Baltimore is going to take it. I think they're going to take the lead. That because I think they play each other. I know we have 6 games against them, so we could potentially spoil not only them winning first place,
We
but
still have Yankee games?
3.
Okay.
So we have we played 1 yesterday against Tampa, but we had
gonna
so
go
now we
down.
have 5 against Tampa, 6 against Baltimore, 3 against.
It'll go down to the
Yanks.
last weekend. There'll be some races into the last weekend.
Yeah, well, you know what? It may not be. I'm looking at this, the percentages. The Yanks are 568, Baltimore's 565, but there's old Oakland, 571. Actually,
Different league, though.
No, Oakland,
American League.
Well, I meant
Oakland-
division.
different division.
Oakland
but for
has
wild card.
They are the number 1 wild card team right now. And Detroit's, they're back. They're at 550, 531. White Sox at 551.
Well, the Yanks have a doubleheader today because they didn't play last night.
Right.
Yeah. So,
And they're
yeah,
facing
Oakland,
Toronto.
they're 21 games over 500. Can you believe that?
Who's that?
Oakland.
Wow. Where are the Red Sox?
Baltimore.
Are they over 500 at least?
Baltimore.
No, I don't think so.
Baltimore's 19 games over 500. And, they've had a great year. Boston is 13 games under.
Well, you're killing time.
But-
I'm talking.
All right. Well, we'll talk more about this on Facebook as well.
All right,
let's post the standings and
sports. Feel free to check us out. Give us a like. Add your comments, and you're going to get a reply one way or the
Oh,
other.
yeah.
I can pretty much guarantee that. Thanks for joining us. Hey, we'll be back. And Andrew, thank you for coming on. It was a lot of fun. It was good to see
I'm
you
sure
again.
I'll be back.
All right.
Yeah, I say the same thing. It was enjoyable having you here, Andrew. And like I always say, be a fan.
See you next week. Take care. 125 years and still teaching the world to sing. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Cape Cod is proud to support the Dukes of Sports. Some of the products offered by Coca-Cola that you can enjoy are Dasani Water, Powerade, Minute Maid Juices, Vitamin Water, Fuse, V8, and Honest Tea.
With 15 offices from the Canal to Provincetown, our experienced and professional agents get the job done, whether you are buying or selling. We also offer summer vacation rentals and can assist in mortgage financing, serving the most buyers and sellers across the entire Cape. Check us out at kinlandgrover.com.
Heritage Floor Covering supports the Dukes of Sports and has a spacious and extensive showroom to browse through. Cheryl and Russell are fully insured and offer free estimates. We sell the best and you pay less. 508-833-7600.
The Sagamore Inn is pleased to support the Dukes of Sports. Feel free to visit our website, sagamoreincapecod.com, for our full menu, catering, and directions. Ask us how you can get a free meal on your next birthday. 508-888-9707.
Dr. Leslie Harmon of Sandwich Animal Hospital, 508-888-2774, gladly supports the Dukes of Sports. We offer lifetime care for dogs, cats, birds, reptiles, rabbits, and more with an on-site diagnostic laboratory, complete pharmacy, medical diets, microchipping, professional grooming, and flea bath appointments. 508-888-8225.
Sandwich Car Wash, Route 130, also does detailing. Express detail in half an hour or less while you wait, or the works by appointment at 508-833-1522, where you can arrange to use Bubbles, our courtesy car. Gift cards available as well. Make a unique gift.